As more and more people begin to realize the importance of facial aesthetics, I've noticed people are beginning to downplay the impact the body has on attractiveness, particularly muscles. Now, whilst facial aesthetics have a far bigger impact on SMV, having an aesthetic body does boost attractiveness, and in this video I will describe how to develop an aesthetic body. Firstly, we must remember that no amount of muscle mass is attractive if it's not visible. As I always say, being lean is the most important factor for an attractive body. So everyone should aim to be lean, but to maximize body aesthetics, you need to put on muscle mass. However, as I always say, you are not aiming for the most muscle possible. So don't take steroids and aim for proportional muscles rather than large. But what are the best proportions, you ask? The golden ratio. However, this isn't physically possible to achieve exactly. So instead, follow these guidelines. First, focus on the aesthetic muscles. These are your shoulders, chest, abs, and back. These are the muscles that will most impact your attractiveness. Yes, you shouldn't skip leg day, even though you all do anyway. However, other muscles just do not contribute as much aesthetically, although they are functionally useful, though I still recommend you train every part of the body, as harmony is still very important. And whilst we are on the topic, it's important to understand how muscles harmonize with your appearance. Depending on your niche and archetype, you should have different levels of muscle mass. A basic example is race. Black men can still be aesthetic with far higher levels of muscle mass than other races, as it harmonizes and is naturally more attainable. Asians can get away with less muscle mass than other races generally. However, the most effective way to determine how much muscle mass you should aim to put on is based on how androgynous your appearance is. Essentially, pretty boys can have far less muscle mass as it harmonizes better with their softer and more androgynous appearance, whereas a hypermasculine man can have greater amounts of muscle mass. So depending on where you fall into within this spectrum will determine how much muscle mass you should aim to put on. Never take steroids. Yes, you may be able to get some benefit, particularly if you're aiming for the hypermasculine archetype. However, it is overall a bad decision that has serious repercussions. Also, it's important to understand that majority of you will fall somewhere between these two extremes, so it's up to you to determine what level of muscle mass works best for your appearance, and to also remember that as you age, you may move up this spectrum and may benefit from a more muscular frame in the future. To gain muscle, you must be in a calorie surplus whilst consistently working out. And to lose fat, you must be in a calorie deficit. Maintain a healthy diet. Remember, it's not the weight that matters, but the composition, the amount of muscle and fat. Supplements such as creatine and protein powders are good for muscle building. However, no supplement is necessary. These are just the two that are most effective. Finally, it's important to understand that for some of you, more muscle may actually be a hindrance to your attractiveness. And remember, the face is far more important, and that unlike Hamza. I will not say that just putting on muscle will make you attractive. But it does have an impact, especially being lean. And a good body combined with facial looks maxing can drastically improve your attractiveness, and that it shouldn't be neglected.